Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to everybody. Whenever you watch this, it is up to you. We are not part of the For You algorithm that TikTok has invented, and by doing so has conquered all of social media. You are here on your own accord, unless this was suggested to you because you like Are You Garbage. First up, my dates. I am in San Diego right now, January 26th through the 28th. I believe there are tickets. Get those tickets if you're watching this in San Diego. If you're in California, drive down. Get out of where you are. It's flooded and people got guns and they're shooting people. So get out of there, and the safest place is a comedy show. Madison, Wisconsin, February 9th through the 11th. I'm back at Comedy on State where I shot my special. So get your tickets, Madison, Wisconsin. Tacoma, Washington, which everyone is giving me editorial retractions and telling me that it is an amazing place. It is not a corporate fast food wasteland, but it is a lot of culture. There's an Antifa museum there that I want to check out. Chicago, February 24th through the 26th. Shows selling out, tickets going quick. Get your tickets. Atlantic City Comedy Club, March 3rd. Emmaus. Took me a couple months to learn how to say that town that nobody will ever care about.
It's right there in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Oh, it's close to Allentown.
Yeah.
Okay. So come out. Come out. If you're a Feckelberg, what's the guy's name who had the stroke? Grab your Carhartt jacket and your Caterpillar boots.
Fetterman?
Yeah, and your rage over the fact that someone told you to learn how to code when really you just want to work at a coal mine. Grab that after you get your breakfast at McDonald's. Close the door with your key that you still use to open and close your door because your car's still from 1991. You and Jared, you guys can tap cars. High five your cars from the 90s with your keys. And get tickets, Emmaus. It's the best thing that's happening in Emmaus ever. For a long time, I will be there. Then DC, March 9th through the 11th. Dallas, Texas, March 16th through the 18th. Springfield, Missouri, March 23rd through the 25th. Phoenix, March 30th through April 1st. Tampa, April 21st through 22nd. San Fran, May 4th through the 6th. Providence, Rhode Island, May 12th through the 13th. Patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour. Go for our bonus episode. We do not look kindly on those who join and leave. Okay? We are the Casa Nostra. The Fediverse is for life. You join and leave, we don't look kindly. So if you leave, good luck. Now enjoy the app. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Yannis Pappas Hour. What can I say? Nobody is going to have a job pretty soon. There's layoffs across the country, tons of scams, scammers being caught, billions of dollars, millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars being stolen, lost, people fleeing on planes. People are getting away with it. It is a total game of cops and robbers, and the cops are under fire again. In Atlanta, in Boston, Antifa's back, baby. Reruns. Antifa's in syndication from the pandemic. Now it's hitting all the local markets. They are back. Fires in building. Downtowns at night are now back on fire. Police protests are back. We're talking about body cams. Why wasn't it on? Why wasn't it? Environmentalists are back. Everything's going local. Everything is in syndication. It's global. Globalization of information, globalization of activism. You got Greta Thunberg getting pulled out of a coal mine pit to get a photo up. And now you got a guy shot in Atlanta because they were going to tear down some woods to militarize the police and create some sort of military cop funding, Disneyland for cops to have an obstacle course so they can learn how to, do somersaults. And a lot of them can't because they're overweight. Depending on who you ask, it was a facility to train cops. If you ask Antifa, it was a terror group. I mean, who knows? There's no objective information I can give you. All we can do is what's the deal is the news here, and that's what we do. We explore it all, and we try to make it funner. But everyone's gone broke, people are jobless, and there's money missing, and don't expect a big return on your taxes this year. Uncle Sam gave away a lot of money to our Ukrainian brothers. Uncle Sam has given away a lot of money to people during the pandemic for them to go buy sneakers with their stimmy check. I got in trouble for that tweet. But now they want their money back, so they're going to find reasons why your return's going to be less. Tighten up your belt. Everyone's going to lose a little weight because you're not going to be able to afford food, which is really what we need to do. It's an extreme situation. I am here representing the United States government and saying, hey, listen, not only did we take a population haircut, but we got to take a little bit of a weight haircut by just making people poor. We're going to have people waiting on bread lines because people have eaten too much, and it's a burden on the healthcare system. So now you're going to starve a little bit, and food is going to be a luxury again until we can slim down like the Chinese heartland. You walk around out there, people are still shitting in holes, walking around looking as skinny as Where is Waldo with glasses on. The Pope, thank God the Pope has spoken up, and he said that he does not support the criminalization of homosexuality, but it still is a sin. Thank you, Pope, for speaking up. It's really appreciated. We will get into that. Mass shootings galore. Mass shootings. Not only is it an unemployment festival and a scamming festival, it is a mass shooting festival. Okay, if this was a carnival America, pick your tent. You want to get into your jobless, laid off tent? Do you want to get into oh my God, I've been scammed out of my money tent? Or do you want to get into the tent with the shooters? I think I'm getting in the tent with the shooters. I'll take my luck. As long as it's crowded in there, I'll play a numbers game and hopefully I'll just hide under some dead bodies. It is a Carnival of America with death, murder, and theft. And it's a good one. ChatGPT supposedly is the new Amazon / or Walmart of AI. It can do everything until it can suck my dick. I'm not interested. Paris Hilton's a mom. Paris Hilton is also a mom. We will get into that. And also the spreading new virus. There's a new variant out there, a new viral variant that is spreading. It is called classified documents. Seems like they're showing up in people's garages all over the place. This is the Yannis Pappas Hour. And will you join me, my friendly neighbor? Will you join me? I don't remember it. What was it? Will you be mine? Won't you be mine?
I'm too young for that, dog.
Friendly neighbor. What's the dollars?
Yannis Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the baby long, and the news online going on and on, what's right and wrong, and there's something up. Now here comes a great kid you know you can trust. From the true who's who to the news and cameras, to the fake politics and the propaganda. Get this kid screwed in, got a lot to say. Oh shit, it's about to be a long day. It's a long day. It's a long day.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers used to go into his foyer, sit down, take off his work shoes, and put on his Pro-Keds. He had just some very generic Pro-Keds. That was before everything was integrated with advertisement. So he never threw on some Nikes. There was no deal. PBS had no integrated ad deal with Asics or New Balance. It was just a brandless Pro-Ked looking sneaker. And even me even calling the sneaker Pro-Ked shows that we do really commodify everything.
Yeah.
You know? What's it called when you have to put something on your, let's say you get a boo-boo, a little scratch. What do you put on that?
A Band-Aid?
Yes. It's called a Band-Aid. You know what Band-Aid is?
It's a company.
It's a company.
Yeah.
That's right. When you're in for a soft drink, what's the first soft drink that comes into your mind?
RC Cola.
Wow. You like the underdog.
Yeah.
And I likes that.
I went to a lot of cookouts in the Bronx.
Yeah. Oh, well, either you're like an underdog or you're poor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just going to say, hey, he's an underdog.
Yeah, just Sam's Club were down the street, dog.
Yeah. RC Cola. But, they call it a Coke. Mm-hmm. It's like called a Coke, but it ain't a Coke. How about if you're moving? What do you get?
A public store. Oh, U-Haul.
Yeah, guess what U-Haul is?
Yeah,
it's a company.
Yeah.
You don't go, hey, I want a truck with a big back on it.
No.
I want a truck that can fit a desk in there.
Yeah.
No, you go, I want a U-Haul. Because they marketed it, baby. They marketed it, and they won. if I said, hey, Jared, you know what you have to do? Just do it. You're going, ding, Nike. It's just, that's what America is. We commodify. And Mr. Rogers was on PBS, I believe.
Yes.
So that means it was funded by the taxpayers. So it was a communist wet dream where everyone just wears just brandless sneakers. And that's not fun either.
No.
Because nobody's motivated to innovate. You gotta, look, you have to start from the premise that we are oink, 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 oink pigs. And we're motivated by self-aggrandizement. So that's what basically the American capitalist culture is going, hey, people are pigs. They're pigs. And they want more. So that will foster innovation, and there will be the unintended effect that it will be somehow good for society. And often it is.
Yes.
Often it is. You know? I don't want someone, coming to my restaurant wearing these brandless pro-keds. There I am. I'm an American, so I'm brainwashed. The only thing I can refer to them as pro-keds.
Yeah.
You know? What are they? They're just bland sneakers.
Bland sneakers. They don't look good. They look like he's a part of the Truman Show.
Yeah, no, I want somebody coming in wearing a Fendi scarf, the Burberry colors.
Yeah.
You know?
I want somebody walking into my restaurant and it'll be a PETA violation.
Yeah, I want it all. I want it all. Yeah, all the right, like just, it's the natural state. The humans in their natural state. Our habitat is selfish, greed. That's the human habitat.
Human habitat, yeah.
The human habitat is a Buc-ee's.
Attention.
It's a Buc-ee's. We want to go in and go, wow, there's so much to buy. There's so many things I don't need to buy. There's so many choices. You don't want to go into a pharmacy and see a box that says toothpaste. That's boring. I want to see Crest, Colgate. That's basically the Coke and Pepsi of toothpaste. I can't even think of it. I want to see Sensodyne for disabled people.
Sensodyne, Arm &
People with
Hammer.
disabled teeth.
Yes.
They got to have one for people who are disabled. Sensodyne. They got to have one dentist recommended one that always is way down in sales because it's the best for you. The thing that's always the best for you is always way down in sales.
Yeah, it's the kombucha of toothpaste.
Yeah. Podiatrists always recommend New Balance. And you're going like, they're low on the scale. They never go, hey, man. No podiatrist goes in and goes, what you got to do is go get yourself a hot pair of Nike Air Max 97s. No, but those are what you're going to wear. And they send you to the podiatrist, and then they put you in New Balance. Buc-ee's. We're just a big Buc-ee's. We just want to buy and just have options that we don't need. I want to read on my toothpaste box. I want to read whitening, total, fresh.
Yes.
I want like big colors, purple. I want like a swirl. I even can see the Colgate swirl. I mean, you know.
want all that shit.
I want it all.
And then right after it, you want do not swallow or you will die.
Yeah, I just want to, I want to be sold.
Yes.
We want to be sold.
Immersed in what they're selling you.
Yeah, I just want to be sold.
Pull me in, dog.
Yeah, pull me in, man.
Gravitational pull. Pull me
Yeah.
the fuck in.
Convince me it's cool. Manipulate me. That's what we want. That's what it is. That's what American culture is.
Need flavor here.
Imagine
bro.
you just went to a store and it was just buy shirt. I want a shirt. It wasn't called a T-shirt. I guarantee you there was a company called T-shirt.
Yeah.
At one point, right? I guarantee you there must have been a company called jeans. Am I wrong? I bet you at some point there was a company that invented the name for everything we have gotten. So there's always been there's a profit motive behind our meaning as a country. Everything has a profit motive. You see a tweet, if someone is tweeting, they're selling you something. Either it's themselves,
Yeah.
a tweet is a sale.
Yeah.
Nobody's just tweeting going, hey, I want to do a public service. I don't care if anyone sees this. A tweet is a sale. We're in the sales business. America is in the sales business. We're a funner culture because being sold on something is funner.
We are a funner culture, but we say words like funner.
Yeah. And I like that fact. You want to know what the truth is? I never knew that funner was not a real word.
Yeah, dog. You just been letting it rip, dog.
I never knew it. Now it's actually part of our podcast. It's actually part of our podcast description.
It's in the lexicon now.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, when you go to the description of the podcast, it does say we support making the news funner.
Yeah. You know you're influential when you make the AI dumber.
Yes. And I took out of the description of the podcast that we're here to make you angry and prepare you for the upcoming Civil War. Because according to the Proud Boys, they're expecting a Civil War before January 6th. Mm-hmm. Does anyone want to go out to eat and share a Coke? Why aren't these guys going on dates? Why are they preparing? Why are they meeting and preparing for a Civil War?
Because they got thrown out of their paintball tournament.
Yeah. Right now, it makes you lose hope. It makes you lose hope that by making things good, it'll calm people down. Because when you go out into the world, even if you only have a couple dollars in your pocket, you can still afford a couple tacos.
Yeah.
You can go get yourself a burrito, right? You can go get yourself a little tiny mini pizza at Pizza Hut. Sure, it's full of poison, sugar, and things to enhance the taste, but you still got a full belly, right? I mean, there's poor people with cell phones, let's be honest. But still, people are preparing for a civil war. So when people go, here's the thing. When people go, poverty causes crime, poverty makes people angry, I go, I don't think it's that simple. I think what causes crime and what causes people to be angry is, now this is going to be controversial, people. I think people. I think the people is the most important variable in that equation.
Yep.
I think it's people. Look at this guy. You know, they took a high fashion brand and turned it into a paramilitary uniform. If that doesn't tell you the privilege that we have in America, that they went and took a $60 fucking shirt, Fred Perry shirts. By the way, guess what that shirt's called? It's called a polo shirt. It's a brand. It became an actual stylish shirt. Everything you call what it is was sold to you. And I ain't mad at it. I'd rather that than someone going collared short sleeve shirt. Not as cool.
Yeah. Be like slang.
Not
Keep
as
it
cool.
short, you know?
Not as cool. I don't want to call my comedians Yannis Pappas. I want them to be called the Das It guy.
Yeah.
It's better. Mm-hmm. There goes the Das It guy. Hurricane's coming to the stage. You're like, whoa, this guy's whoa. It just evokes, whoa, hurricane. So here they are. I mean, how funny could it exemplify what I'm talking about more? That this guy, and I think I undersold it at 60. I think you could get it 60 with a tiny hole in it in Marshall's.
Yeah.
But I think if you get it at a top retail store, Fred Perry shirts go for $60 to $80.
Yeah.
And I also think it's funny that the Latin Kings also made their colors, I think, which were yellow.
Yellow and black.
Yellow and black.
Yes.
They made those their gang colors, and the clothing they were always wearing was like designer clothing. You never saw Latin Kings in Old Navy sweatshirts. It was Latin Kings, Tommy Hilfiger, black and yellow. You're going, you do guys know that you formed a gang with designer clothing on. You're wearing designer clothing. There's people, you know, I posted on my Instagram the other day, a kid taking a shower. A kid taking a shower. I know you saw it. A kid taking a shower somewhere in Africa out of piss that was coming out of an animal's fucking vagina. And you're going like, those guys aren't starting gangs. If poverty makes crime, you're going, how come that guy's not fucking shooting up a school?
Yeah.
It's a true. Did you see the video?
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
So there's a kid who's got like shit all over him, and he's underneath like a big animal. And like the animal is pissing, and he's showering in the piss.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw it. Okay, R. Kelly retweeted it.
Yeah. It was actually at R. Kelly's farm. That's actually R. Kelly's trading facility. This is a true video. You can Google it on the net. And the guy, he's like washing his hair in the animal's piss.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny?
He looked like a miner, right? Like a coal miner? Like
probably mining our batteries so we can have these so we can tweet our angry thoughts, right? So this guy's fucking showering in piss, probably getting paid $1 an hour because some multinational has installed some dictator to hold down the people and force them to accept those wages because they're paid off by the multinational so they can fucking eat steak and fuck whores. so they can get the fucking minerals for the batteries that go in these things, so Westerners can get on here and say, prepare for the Civil War. Where's the Civil War going to happen? Meet me at the McDonald's of Applebee's, where there's a 2 for $20 meal, where you can get a steak, potatoes, and vegetables for 2 people for 20 fucking bucks. Which, if you had 20 fucking bucks and you went to Columbia, you could buy a seat in Congress there with 20 bucks.
So crazy.
You know what you could get for 20? You know what you could get for $100 in Columbia? A live-in maid, and this is a guy in Miami told me this. In Columbia, you can get, you can buy a complete mansion for like $200,000. A mansion. I'm talking about like, like you can get Kansas City prices in Columbia or Kansas City. Because I saw one of the mansions that the football players live in there, and it's like a $300,000 fucking mansion. But in Columbia, for like 100, 200 grand, you can live in like an El Chapo mansion, and you can have a live-in maid, cook, butler, all that for $100 a month. Basically, feature pay. Feature pay, you can have a slave for feature pay in America. And this guy's in an $80 shirt.
Yeah.
Saying, meet me in the parking lot of Applebee's so we can discuss the Civil War. As he tokes on his Marlboro fucking cigarette.
Yeah. It is the people. We have comfort, we have knowledge, we have privilege, and yet we're still geared towards war.
People are shit. We don't deserve this.
Yeah.
We don't deserve these brains.
Yeah, we'd make a mortar out of the Hubble telescope.
Yeah, I mean, this is, we got the internet. The first thing we do is we took our dicks out.
Yeah.
As soon as we were able to get online, the first thing we did was take our dicks out. You remember the AOL chat rooms? And you're like, oh, people can communicate. And the first thing people did was like, what are you wearing? And then there's some fucking 800-pound dude sitting there going like, just making up what he looks like.
Yeah.
And Manti Te'o is being like, I love you. I'm sorry, I made a joke. He's a great guy. But I mean, seriously, guy, ask for a fucking photo. What's up, everybody? We are brought to you for this very special episode by DraftKings, okay? You know what the theme of the episode is. Don't stop the party, baby. Throw a little juice on a game. It is the NFL playoffs right now, and guess who is an official sports betting partner of the NFL? Well, it is DraftKings, my friends. There's 4 NFL teams, 2 conference championship games right now, and only a few more shots to win big on the playoffs with DraftKings. Guess what, guys? DraftKings has for you. Stepped up same game parlays. Take your shot at an even bigger NFL payout and boost your winnings with each leg you add up to 100%. 100. All of it. All of it. Now, I bet with my heart. I lost some money on a Gigantes. They were a big underdog. I lost a lot of money, but guess what? I enjoyed the game. I was upset. I like being angry. At least I feel something. So get your winnings, man. Do your research. Get your winnings. Make it more exciting. If you're going to throw some juice in the game, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the code FUMES. And check this out. New customers can get $5 on the conference championships and get $200 in free bets instantly. Let me repeat that. Okay? New customers can get $5 on the conference championships and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code FUMES. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Breaking news, everybody. We are brought to you by the GOAT, Manscaped. I love Manscaped. It's a no-brainer for every guy, right? To have the weed whacker. You got to have the Performance Package 4.0. But guess what? Now they're selling beard products, and they sent me one, and I love it. So it's a no-brainer. Whenever I love something, I just say, hey, I used it. They sent it to me. It's good marketing. It's a good product. Sometimes you don't need to market that hard when it is a good product. They sent me their brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. And it's a beard trimmer. And it comes with all these oils. It comes with a whole kit, like a MacGyver kit of beard care. And I'll detail each one of those things. So if you have a beard, it's time to tame that mane, guys. Make it look good. Make it look shiny. Make it look clean. Make it look shaped up. It all starts with the beard hedger. That's the clippers, right? This thing is a juggernaut for your face. It's a cordless trimmer that has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard, so no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. It's really true. That's right. Face grooming doesn't need to be hard. Get 20 different beard lengths in just one guard. Accurate advertising. I have the thing. It's waterproof. I didn't know that. And so that's exciting. That's a good boost. So you can shave in the shower to avoid all that hair in the sink. Wow. The titanium-coated T-blade is tough on hair, but smooth on your face, leading to a single stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction with one stroke at a time. The Pro Kit doesn't end there, though. They have created 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for the post-trim care. They got the beard shampoo, which they sent me, the conditioner, and I like to rock a beard. So when my beard gets a little longer, I'm going to start using those products. For now, I've used the trimmer and made it look like this. How great does it look? It looks great. And I needed one, actually. You need one, too. You should get one. They really are good. All hair is different, so your beard hair is more coarse and easier to damage than the hair on your head. That's why the kit has made shampoo and conditioners especially designed to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, replace natural oils, and promote beard health. And also the beard oil, which gives it a nice shine. They all smell great, too. They also cap it off with the Beard Balm, which is a pomade that shapes and styles, moisturizes, tames it for that sculptured look. You know, a lot of the dudes now, they like to make it look sculpted. Mine is just... I don't really use that as much, I'll be honest with you, but the beard oil I will because it makes it look shiny. So, but it's great. So, guess what? If you listen to this podcast, you're a dude, you got a beard, or you want to grow a beard, boom, void in the marketplace. This is for you. I'm talking to you. I'm obviously not talking to the ladies. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code FUMES at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, promo code FUMES. And they call themselves the Proud Boys. Part of it is fashion. It's cool. It gives them something to do. And it's just humans are stupid, man. When can we just say this is stupid? This guy has no insight that in a couple of years he's going to look back at this the way I look back at my haircut in 8th grade. It looked like someone stuck a bowl over my head and cut the sides because I wanted to be a rapper's son. Unfortunately, this kid is 40-something. And look at him.
Dude, the White Claw and the flak vest. I mean, come on, look at that shit.
I mean, why does he look like Tom Cruise on his way to a jet in the movie? He's like got a vest on, he's got gear on.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to a suburban, he goes back to a split ranch home wearing that. And his mom goes, "How was your night out?" And he goes, "Pretty good. You know, me and the fellas are preparing for Civil War." And she's going, "What? I can't hear you. Anyway, what do you want for dinner?"
Yeah.
This guy can eat. He's got a home. He's got a roof over his head. People have roofs over their head. They have homes. The problem is people don't know how lucky they are because they don't deserve any of that. We're all just living on the backs of smart people, genius people who can build stuff, created stuff, gave us electricity. And this is what we do with it.
It's a waste.
Dude, I was reading this Facebook post of my father-in-law's neighbor, who's a doctor, and his son is a brain surgeon, and he had to have a tumor removed from his head, right? And then he had to do like 23 hours straight of surgery because doctors are on call like that. And then he was driving home to like give his family and his kid breakfast. He got into a car accident, and now he's paralyzed from the waist down, and he still wants to work, but he's paralyzed, like trying to learn how to walk again. And he wrote this whole thing about his positive attitude and how life can change in a second. And it really like took over my weekend of like thinking. And I'm going like, you know, because I feel anxiety before I get on stage. So it just made me think. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to get the right balance of like, should I take a CBD now? What did I eat? How much fruit did I have? And I'm going like, this is what happens when people are privileged. We eat ourselves. Because I don't know, maybe we haven't evolved to a state of gratitude. I don't know what it is, but like maybe there's another step in evolution that has to come to humans where we like are in a state of gratitude, or like we haven't dealt with the fear of death or something. I don't know what it is. There's a missing stage of evolution that we got to get to, so we don't do this shit anymore.
Yeah.
This shit is boring the fuck out of me.
And it looks stupid as shit. He
Yeah.
looked like he just performed a drug raid on a sorority party.
He actually looks like a mall cop SWAT team guy.
Yeah.
It's a mall cop uniform for a SWAT team guy. He's one of those psychopaths who like wanted to be a cop, but they couldn't let him pass the test because he was inept. So he's like, I'm going to start my own paramilitary group. Yeah. It's fucking funny, man. Isn't it not funny to you, Jess, that the guy's wearing a $90 shirt for he made that the uniform?
I love it. He's got a Fred Perry logo on his
Yeah, I mean,
bulletproof vest.
There's something to be said about America and how good we have it and how that for some reason should be enough, but it's not enough. For some reason, it's not enough. It's not enough for the piggies. It's not enough for the piggies who go to their World Economic Forums and figure out how they can make more and more and more. And then it's not enough for the poors, right? Who go to malls, go to movies, get popcorn, pizza, orange chicken. I mean, orange chicken, baby, is good.
Yeah.
You go to Cheesecake Factory, you get orange chicken. You ever see a Cheesecake Factory portion? You could take a family from Uruguay, sit them down, and order 2 entrees. They'd be in that restaurant for a week finishing that meal.
Yeah.
They would sleep there and be like, we got to stay here to finish this meal.
Yeah.
And we eat it in one setting. I mean, it's really funny.
Greed is the goal. No matter what level that you're at, you're always attaining to have more.
It's just there's no end to up.
Mm-hmm.
As the great Jesse Scatoro said, there's no end to up. But there has to be. At some point, we have to evolve to a place where, like, you know, it's part of our wisdom as it's like drinking water when you're thirsty. It's got to get to a point where we go like, oh, okay, I don't need an 8th car. It's got to be, you know, you ever look at like Jay Leno's parking lot? You're going like, dude, what are you doing? You have 2 legs, okay, and a big chin. And that's it.
Yeah.
How many cars can that chin fit in? Now, granted, maybe 4 because it's a big one. But how many at the same time? I mean, you got 1,800 cars. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. It doesn't stop until they get a lesson or when God tries to intervene and goes, yo, slow down, which happened to Jay Leno because he got burned on his motorcycle, but
Yeah.
he's still going.
Thank you, Jared. What I want to tell the people is we are now a Christian podcast. And I am an agent of God. I had a message like Sarsis, Paul of Tarsus, Saul of Tarsus. Saul of Tarsus. And now my new name is Jawaya. I am Jawaya of Park Slope, Brooklyn. I am no longer Yannis Pappas. I had a revelation, and I am marching to Washington, D.C. the way Paul did to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. I think it's time to become a zealot. Zealots don't have anxiety. They have a mission. Don't stop, you know, maybe it's time to stop prescribing Xanax and Klonopin and start prescribing Jesus. And then humans fuck that up too. We always fuck it up. We're here to fuck it up. Because you want to know what it is, man? A good time is not enough for a lot of people. And if a good time is not enough for you, listen to me and listen to me closely. You're fucked. If a good time is not enough for you, you're fucked. If you need drugs, booze, if you need to go murder 18 people to feel something, if you need 300 million in crypto coins to feel like you're going to make 600 million in dollars, if you need to steal 300 million real dollars off of an exchange because you hacked in to get it, you're fucked. Something bad's going to happen. I believe in karma. That I've seen. I don't know what it is, but whatever energy you put out, everything I've ever done always comes back, and I'm always aware of it. I'm going, oh, shit. It's almost weird how it happens. You go like, oh, fuck, this is probably how that person felt.
Yeah.
I always feel, you ever have those moments when you do something to someone and then it comes back to you and you're like, oh, fuck.
You probably made fun of a dude with a stutter before.
Yeah. And then God was like, this is how you're going to talk for the rest of your life.
Throwing that shit out like a boomerang.
If a good time is not enough for you, you have to figure out a way to have a good time on this life without forming a paramilitary group.
Yeah.
You know, there's plenty of fun stuff out there, man. Dave and Buster's, like, they're open during the day. Go play a video game. Dude, have you ever had the 2 for $20 at Applebee's? It's luxurious. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Me and my wife went to the Cheesecake Factory the other day. I was like, this is great. I mean, you know, it's made out of a kit, but they make it look like a Spanish villa, and you just go along with it. You go, hey man, I'm a father with a kid and who's sitting in a booster chair. My wife's sitting across there, and we're in a Spanish villa. And guess what? The meal's about $40-50 for 2 people. Unlimited waters. Unlimited waters.
Yeah.
If we can just figure out a way to take a few billion from the guys at the top, give Flint, Michigan clean water. Everyone's got clean water. And then unlimited waters. I mean, there's unlimited waters. Guess what, dude? Here's even better. I'll do you one better. I'll do you one fucking better. You go to a Cheesecake Factory and a lot of other places that are not in the New York area, it's unlimited fucking whatever you ordered. You get unlimited refills. You ever been to a place with unlimited refills? Yeah, because you're in New York. They charge, dude, almost everywhere else in the country, you order a drink, it's unlimited free refills.
Yeah, it's weird. As a New Yorker, you go to the state, they do that. You think the waiters try to fuck you.
Yeah. You're like, whoa. He's like, the rest of them are on me. You're like, hey, man, I'm not.
Yeah, bro, I
don't
got a
go that way.
girlfriend. So
Yeah,
I'm not-
you can't fuck me. Yeah. It's really, you know, I mean, look at that cheesecake, baby. It's a Spanish villa.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Unlimited cheesecake?
No, you got to pay for the cheesecake. But, you know, it's not $100 for a piece of cheesecake. You slap $8.99 there, you get a nice, thick, you know, piece of cheesecake. I understand that there's poverty. I understand there's inequality here. I get some of those things. You know, they come to light in Flint, Michigan.
True.
All right? They come to light when you learn about how some Amazon workers are being treated and stuff like that. But when you are the quote unquote daughter of a House of Representatives member in Congress, in Massachusetts, okay? I'm assuming your life wasn't too bad. I'm assuming you had it pretty good. I'm assuming there's no good reason for you to go out there and spray paint a monument with anti-police slogans and then get arrested for assaulting an officer of the law. I assume. But guess what, Jared Harvin and Jesse Scaturo? I assumed wrong.
Very wrong.
I assumed very wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because you would think that people who were poor, right, would dream about being the son or daughter of a rich House of Representative member in free Massachusetts, where you can go and get a bad slice of pizza and, according to Robert Kelly, steak tips that will knock your socks off. Because supposedly they have better food than New York. You would assume that would be enough. Because, hey, if you line up 100,000 very, very poor people, I'm talking below the poverty line poor people from third world countries, and say, hey, I know you love your parents. I know you love your parents. I know you love your family. But I'm going to give you the opportunity to be the adopted daughter of what you may think is parliament or the legislative branch, Congress. I know you don't know that, because you don't have books here.
Yeah.
You don't have shoes. But you're going to go live there. You're going to go to Skidmore College, right? Where you can study, it doesn't matter. Study history. Study what you can read in a book. And your adopted mother will pay $50,000 a year, which here would make you the owner of Uruguay. Right? You could buy the whole country for what it's going to cost every year for you to go to that liberal arts college. You know? And you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want. Guess what? There's running water with no parasites in it. You can shower with water. You don't have to put your head under an animal's asshole and shower in its pee-pee. You got running water and marble on tap. I think 100,000 of those people would go, bye, mama, bye, papa. I'll send money back, right? How funny is it that poor people want to be rich and rich people want to be poor? We have something in our brain where we want to fuck it up. We want to fuck it up because a good time is not enough. If you haven't evolved to that point where a good time, where you can't sit down with your buddy, right, and have a good laugh, maybe enjoy a half glass of wine and feel appreciative about everything, or sit down and watch a game and be like, I had a really great time tonight. If you're sitting there and you can't sit still and you're like, oh God, I got to tweet on Twitter, or I got to score a bag of Coke, or God damn it, I got to go murder someone, you're fucked. Or God, I got to go spray paint a police statue, or whatever it is, it's not good. So she spray painted all cops are bastards and no cop city. So can we drop this? She's non-binary, by the way. She doesn't like being identified. The thing she's probably most mad about is not being arrested. That's like a badge of honor for her because she knows her mom's going to pull some strings to get her out, right? Mm-hmm. Unlike the fucking poor kid that stole a Reese's Pieces out of a bodega and has to do 20 years of hard time. This bitch who punched a cop, whose mother is a House of Representatives member, I guarantee you she gets a slap on the wrist. What do you think she's going to do? You think she's going away to maximum security? Because when you assault the police officer, that's a felony. So I would love to follow this story. You know what? We're going to start a new segment on Yannis Pappas Hour, okay, where we're going to follow a story to its conclusion. I will be here till I'm 80 years old and follow this bitch's life. And I'm going to compare it to some fucking kid who went away to Rikers for smoking a joint on a park bench. And we're going to see who has it worse. Yeah. This bitch assaulted a cop. You remember they used to say on the side of the cop cars, or like they used to put up signs and stuff like assaulting a police officer comes with like a minimum of 10 years in prison, which is the way it should be. Okay, they're officers of the law. You can't just go around punching fucking prosecutors. You just lose disorder. Now,
it's automatic. It's like fries at Five Guys.
Yeah. It's like what?
It's like fries at Five Guys.
Automatic 10 years.
Yes.
Like an automatic fries at Five Guys. So I want to do a segment too where we rate Jared Harvin's analogies, because sometimes he comes with home runs and sometimes the foul balls go behind the plate into the net. But don't stop attempting, because even when they're bad, they're good. I think I'm going to take note of more. Yeah. I'm going to go, wait, what? What part of your brain did you pull that one out of? Are you hungry?
I think the kid's hungry.
They just put bad fries in the bag at Five Guys.
They do.
What? Yeah, they overpack it. So
yeah. So
you're going to get it, you know?
You know you're going to get it. Automatic 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
Or automatic
what do you want me to
fries.
say? You want me to say it's like chicken pox and shingles? No one's going to fucking get that.
That's a good, I mean, you know.
Go ahead, my fault.
I was actually trying to think which one was better. I think the chicken pox shingles one is better. They're both good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a younger audience, dog. Okay, I'm not trying to have this show appeal to people in the fucking hospice.
So this is Riley. This is which one's her real name? Jared or Riley?
There's probably Riley's a non-binary name. Yeah. Jared's the real name.
Yeah, so it's a girl. So basically when she you know what's funny is when she's referring to her kid as my daughter, it just shows that she's not happy about what's going on. Because she's using the pronouns she wanted. Maybe she was respecting the pronouns before the arrest in some sort of attempted reconciliation with her daughter and her daughter's generation. But now after the arrest, she's letting the daughter word fly. Yeah, that's how guess what? To Riley or Jared is the N-word. She's calling her mom going, Mom, did you just refer to me as your daughter? That's like the N-word. I'm non-binary, bitch. I want to be referred to as a non-binary sound at all times. My daughter was arrested in Boston. I guarantee you her daughter's most mad at being identified as daughter. And you said you called me Riley, you bitch. Riley's the name you gave me. And it was part of the patriarchy because you were part of that system. Now I named myself Jared. I'm Jared. But it's not good enough. It's not good enough for Jared or Riley, depending on which podcast you listen to. That's the world we live in now, dog.
Or depending on the haircut.
Whatever you think something is heavily dependent on the podcast you listen to. So there are some podcasts covering this story right now, okay? There are podcasts that people who listen to this podcast do not listen to, right? But there's people listening to that podcast who don't listen to this podcast who are going to leave thinking that that guy's name is Jared. Because they presented this is not an exaggeration or a joke. They went into the preparation for their podcast, putting it down as the proper identification. What am I looking at? The proper identity. What do you do when you misgender? The proper genderizing. I don't know if that's the word yet, but it will be. The proper genderizing of this individual as her son, Jared. Or her non-binary child, Jared. I bet you that's what it's going to be. And the whole story will be called that. And they'll do it with a straight face. Only here on Yannis Pappas Hour will we let you know that we know there's a pussy in those slacks. Jared. Hey. And guess what? I wasn't there at her birth, so I can't be 100% sure. Yeah. But if it was at BetMGM, I would bet all my savings on it. Riley. Doesn't matter. It's immaterial to the story. Imagine the privilege you have to change like your gender, because that costs money too, to get the injections and do all that. That costs money. This is all part of the privilege package that you get at the American Carnival, the American Circus. It's the tent you go into. Which tent you going into? You going into the switch your gender tent? You going into the mass shooting tent? Are you going into the 2 for $20 Applebee's tent? Dare I say the 2 for $20 Applebee's tent is the best fucking tent.
Best one.
Go enjoy the Cheesecake Factory orange chicken, baby. You don't even have to do math for the tip anymore on the bill. You know? How great is that?
The bill is just a tablet.
They just show you, here's what it is at 18%, here's what it is 20%. You don't even have to do math. How much better can it get? Didn't Freud have a thing called the death wish, the Freudian death? He's like, all humans have this sort of, suicide wish, or there's some destructive streak that we all...
Destruction of paradise.
The death drive. The death instinct. In the dual instinct theory of Sigmund Freud, the death instinct, or thanatos, which is a Greek word, stands opposed to the life instinct, or eros, and is believed to be the drive underlying such behaviors as aggressiveness, sadism, and masochism. And you could probably add a bunch of other, destructive behaviors onto that, right? Narcissism. I guess it's all encompassed under the umbrella of aggressiveness, right? Because Riley was being a little aggressive.
Yeah. It's America, dog. The American Carnival.
Now
even if you change your gender, you still want to act black.
Yeah, I mean, she joined Antifa, right? This is probably Antifa. And remember, Antifa is just an idea. It's not a gang. It's an idea. Sometimes ideas carry hammers and spray paint. Sometimes they do. And here she is with her natural gray hair. The mother. So what's her name, the mother? I feel bad for the mother. And you go on Twitter with this story, and of course the right is blaming the mother, going like, "What radicalization did you teach her?" Based on the fact that she's referring to her as my daughter, I think she's conflicted on all this. I think it's tough. I think Riley's been tough for her. I think Riley's been a tough raise for her. Do you think her and Joe Biden call each other on the phone and talk about their kids? She's going, yeah, my kid impregnated a stripper. Hey, Catherine. Hunter. I love watching him try to figure out what he's going to say. Calls Catherine up. They got to vent. They got to vent to each other. Everyone's got that black sheep in the family.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jared. Say it. Why does it got to be a black sheep, dog? Pretty soon, I think black sheep will be gone. I don't think you'll be able to say black sheep anymore. There is a reasonable reason, right? Because most sheep are white, and then the black ones are rare, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. They're the only ones that make it to the NBA.
Guys, mental health is an essential part of everyone's life. I take it seriously. I go to therapy constantly. I love the way that these companies have modernized therapy and made it convenient. I FaceTime with my therapist. I don't go into an office anymore. It's just as good. Commercial real estate's going to suffer, but guess what? It's a whole lot easier, and it's just as effective. Cerebral is a 100% mental health service that offers therapy and medication management for anxiety, depression, insomnia, stress, burnout, whatever you're going through. Cerebral is absolutely great. It's here for anyone who's looking for help with their mental health. It's 100% online. You take a brief questionnaire, get matched to a care team based off your needs and preferences. Through the Cerebral app, you can schedule your sessions, get your questions answered, access additional mental health service sources. It's one of the few services that provide medication management online through a licensed provider if clinically indicated. So there you go. If you need medication, and some people do. Sometimes you need a little assist to get out of a situation. Take it seriously, man. Be proactive with your mental health. I'm serious. This is a sale of a company, but this is a true thing, and I believe that. Be proactive. Whenever I go through crises of mental health, which I have, I'm very proactive. Don't wallow in it. Be proactive. Seek treatment. Get help. This is Cerebral's affordable. It's 1/3 the price of traditional therapy, in network with several insurers, and they're working every day to grow their network. They understand that finding therapists isn't a linear journey. If your therapist isn't a match, Cerebral will help you find a provider that meets your needs. So treatment options are available with or without insurance. So don't let that sway you one way or the other. They will work with you. 50% of Cerebral's clinicians self-identify as people of color too. So it's important that Cerebral have the diversity so everyone can get the treatment they deserve. So whoever you're comfortable with, male, woman, black, white, Asian, South Asian, Romanian, Albanian, you want to see an Albanian person, Cerebral will link you up. Whatever your preference is. Nobody's judging. Yannis Pappas Hour listeners will receive 50% or more off your first month. That's great. If you're in crisis now, you're in need now, 50% off to get you started. Beginning is half the whole. Just get in, be proactive about your mental health. I'm serious. If this is for you, do it. So you get 50% off your first month of therapy by going to Cerebral.com/fumes. That's Cerebral.com/fumes for 50% off or more off your first month of therapy. For quality mental health care that's accessible and affordable. Join Cerebral today. Guys, good luck. Take care of your mental health. So she is a Democrat, right? Let's just make sure we're she is.
She got Democrat hands, yeah.
Spoke out about extremism in politics while pointing fingers at the GOP during the debate about whether to appoint. Okay, so she's pointing out extremism. Of course, she's probably just pointing out extremism on the right, which exists. But, of course, that's the zeitgeist right now. Get smarter. It's a good word. Everyone should know it. The zeitgeist right now it used to be both sides could somewhat admit what the other side was saying was there, right? Now it's like what they do is exaggerate the other side's problems and deny the existence on the problem of their side. That's the perpetual war between right and left right now, right? That's what they do. They exaggerate the thing that's the problem on the other side, and then they pretend that the problem on their side doesn't exist, and they both do that. So they're just extremists yelling at each other. And so she's probably sitting there yelling about the extreme right and white supremacists who do exist, right? But then someone may go like, but let's talk about Antifa. And she goes, Antifa has a noble cause. It's an ad hoc identity. It's a right-wing trope. It's a right-wing made-up trope to try to stigmatize kids who are out there fighting for the goodness of anything until one defaces public property and punches a cop and it's your daughter. Yeah. It's called karma, bitch! Antifa protests in Atlanta. This happened because there was protests in Atlanta and in Boston. Of course, Riley or Jared got arrested in Boston, but in Atlanta, we had another thing happen. Antifa protests in Atlanta, and they turned violent on Saturday. They started rioting. There was armed explosives. Some of them had guns. They started screaming, "I can't breathe," as they were arrested by police officers after torching cars. Yeah, they lit up a cop car. They were hurling fireworks and smashing windows with the hammers that ideas carry.
Yeah. All while not wearing deodorant.
They also have a gang uniform, which is designer black hoodies. Of course, I'm going to wait for Jesse to get the article back up again. Black hoodies, masks, black umbrellas. And that's their uniform. They even have an emblem.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny when there's a footage of Nader. What's the guy who was fat and he lost weight, who's in the Senate or Congress? Ralph Nadler or whatever?
Ralph Nader
or one of those guys, one of the fatties.
Jerry Nadler.
Jerry Nadler. There's one of them, some right-wing reporter is following him around the street and goes like, do you still think Antifa doesn't exist? He goes, there's no such thing as Antifa. It's like, what, and it just shows you, like, these guys they live in a bubble of whatever they're hearing, It's like, I've been to Portland. I saw them. When I was in Portland, I read the weather forecast, and it said it's going to be 70 today with a chance of protest tear gas. Yeah. It's part of the weather report. They go, don't go outside. Chance of tear gas very high today. Chance of riot, 25%.
70% chance of humidity coming from a Chrysler minivan that's on fire.
Yeah. They have the shields with the emblems on them. They have like an actual like sign. They have a symbol. And they're out there. Yeah, they got these insignias.
Oh, yeah, they got a logo.
Yeah, nice. One of them's an anarchy sign, right? An A or whatever. They got logos, dog. We got a logo.
See, this is why you need the Proud Boys. These two could just duke it out.
Yeah, they just, they actually paid a graphic designer to do that.
Oh, yeah.
And look, they look like an army from a Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
They should just have a big fight. Put it up on pay-per-view. I'd watch that.
I'd watch that, man.
Versus Antifa.
Yeah, I'd watch that. So they're back, dog. They're back. They're back. They quieted down for a little while. It was heavy during the pandemic, right? Everyone was out there. Remember that? Don't leave your home. Don't go to a funeral. But if you're going to a protest, that's fine because you're outside. You're outside in the sun. The virus only spreads at right-wing gatherings. It only spreads where people need to earn a living from their restaurant. It doesn't spread when 10,000 people gather closely on a hot summer day because it's outside, even though the air doesn't move. Anyone's been outside in July and August. It's the same thing as inside. In fact, inside feels a lot more like outside than outside does during the summer. But you could gather. You could gather for protests, and that was totally fine. The CDC, doctors were saying it was fine. Look at all their special needs helmets, gloves. They put on gloves. I mean, what are they doing?
They look like they waterboard you in Brooklyn Cannery.
This is a bunch of. Not one of these people here, I guarantee you, has an engineering degree. How many STEM graduates do you think are in Antifa?
None.
How many liberal arts graduates do you think there are in Antifa?
But there might be a couple of graduates from ITT Tech.
Jesse, how many liberal arts graduates do you think are in Antifa?
90%.
90?
Yeah.
Whoa, a conservative guy.
These are very overeducated, bored kids.
I'm going to go 99.6.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 99.6% of these guys graduated with some sort of liberal arts. They graduated from some college of arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might have an illustration major in there.
Yeah,
you know.
you got a couple English majors that got a D on their thesis statement.
Yeah, there may be a few finger painters in there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, there may be a few SVA grads.
A couple of graphic designers.
Couple of graphic designers. But there's a lot of people that majored in, there's a lot of people who were in the graduating classes that followed me and Jared. Where'd you get a BA in theta? Theta?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was your dad excited about that?
At first he wasn't, but he found out I could make some money. Then he was excited.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a little time.
A little bit of time.
Takes a little time.
If I did a musical, he would have never talked to me again.
Takes a little time.
Especially if he's footing the bill.
Well, exactly. I mean, my parents weren't thrilled about it. I'm going to be a comedian. They're like, what?
Yeah.
Especially when you try to explain it then. Like, what? I'm going to be like, because you're going like, I'm going to be like Eddie Murphy and Robin Williams. You're like, no, you're not. I can tell you right now, you don't have those guys' talents. Now you can clearly see a lot of untalented people making money and say to your parents, look, I'm going to be like that. That guy's hosting an award show. And they go, all right, give it a try. Because if he could do that, I mean, do you remember talent is hate speech now? If you do another voice or a character, it's like a hate speech.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny, dude. They've done a good. These people who have no talent or skills or don't know how to be a doctor or code or build anything, they've done a really good job just by sheer numbers and by using virtue as a weapon to bully their way into positions and have brought full-on companies to their knees. Salute. Where you just go in there and you go like, I guess I'm watching a comedian. Sounds a lot like a speech.
Yeah.
I guess he's talented.
Yeah, but he came out as gay 3 months ago, so I have to listen.
Now we're getting too specific. And then when you do like a character that you created or a voice, like him or that crew will be like, look at this fucking shit. Look at this hate speech. Look at this racism. Look at this sexism. Look at that. And you're going like, I thought that was talent. I thought that's what talent was. When Martin Lawrence used to turn into different characters, like I thought what Hank Azaria did was talent. I thought if you could do like 8 voices, you're talented. But God forbid one of those voices isn't a fucking pale face, and then you're in for it. We're coming for you, Mrs. Swan. We're coming for you. She's got an easy pass. You want to know why? Because she's not successful anymore.
Oh, she's
But
big
once
time now.
is she big? Where is she?
She's on that Mrs. Maisel show.
Ooh, we're coming for you, bitch.
Yeah, she got nominated, I think.
How come she's been able to just coast by quietly?
I think people forgot.
Been able to coast by quietly. It looking like a man. It looking like a man. It looking like a man. People are just taking things too seriously, man. You know?
Oh, and she voices Lois on Family Guy, too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everyone just extrapolated from, they base their thing on something legitimate, and then they just open up those tentacles, and they go, everything's offensive. Alex Bornstein. They're coming for me, for Marisa. They're coming for you, Alex. If I get any bigger, they're coming for me. And I'll say, what about Panos? Like, you can do that. That's not what we're in. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Marisa. Are you trans? No, you're not. Are you Puerto Rican? No, you're not. You're Greek. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Come for me. Take me. Take me away as your sacrifice. Take me away. You wouldn't want a sold-out crowd of Latins and blacks to have a good time. Take me. Take me away. It's crazy, right? It's crazy that someone sitting in an office somewhere or someone trying to like intellectualize it can make the rule about it. And the people who enjoy it have no say. It's all like, you know, it's like a leap in logic. With the character thing, it's like a leap in logic from blackface, right? If black people were not oppressed and if they weren't enslaved, and if blackface wasn't a thing that happened in America where white people put on blackface, black people were not allowed to perform, were not allowed to get money, and white people did their music in blackface and did all that stuff offensively and got paid a lot of money for it while black people were oppressed and formerly enslaved and all that stuff, it wouldn't have been a thing, right? If black people were as rich and free as everyone else, there would be no problem with Anthony Quinn playing a Greek or, what was his name? Mammy.
Al Jolson.
Yeah, Al Jolson, which I want to remind you was beloved by the black community. It's not a neat history here. The black community loved him, and he loved black people. And it was seen as offensive, but it was because all of society was an offensive system. It was a racist system. But if you remove that, then in and of itself, without the exaggerated racist shit, it wouldn't be offensive. Jimmy Kimmel doing that thing wouldn't be offensive. When Jimmy Fallon did blackface, it wouldn't be offensive, right? Because it's like, oh, he's playing Karl Malone. He tried to look like Karl Malone. Big deal. The reason is because black people were oppressed. They were enslaved. Their shit was stolen. It was commodified. White people got rich off of it. Black people didn't, right? So what people did is what these grifters did is they opened up that umbrella for everything. So if you do an Asian voice, if you do an Indian voice, you're going, wait a second though. Wait a second. You weren't enslaved here. There's no history of Asian. There's no history of like black face, of like Indian face, or like, you know, there's no history of like a system of oppression. Like you guys came here in the 70s, got rich in the 90s, and you're fucking rich now. Oh, but this guy did a racist stereotype. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Because then there's like, what was it? And it was racist. What's his name? Lewis and Jerry Lewis.
Oh.
Remember that one?
Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah, that was.
But, you know, that's you know.
Mrs. Swan's pretty close.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, here's the deal. Some people sound like that. It's what it is. Comedy sometimes can be mean. You know? I mean, Mr. Panos, a lot of people think that is like a stereotype of, it is. It's a negative stereotype. Greeks get upset about it. I have tons of emails, messages of Greeks getting upset. It's comedy. It's like, what are you going to do? What am I going to go up there and just be like, hey, I'm a Greek lawyer. Hey, I'm a Greek lawyer. Hey, I'm a Greek lawyer. Hey, I don't want to represent my people right. I'm a Greek lawyer. I'm a Greek lawyer. Hey, hey, how you doing? I'm just a normal, Greek man. How you doing? Who's got a college education. Is that funny? We're in the comedy business. Again, there's tons of nuance in this stuff. Tons of nuance that when you yell at someone and call them a bad person, you're already on the defensive. You're going like, all right, I'll just stop doing it. You're just like, all right, I'll just stop doing it. I don't want people to think that, you know, I'm a bad person. You're like, are you a bad person? Like, did you redline people? Are you running around screaming obscenities in your private life? Like, no, I'm doing comedy. I don't know what the fuck it. So nowadays, the dreams of people without talent are possible. You know, they need to bully their way into something. And the flag of virtue is how you march into that fucking building and take it over. You just fucking wave that flag of virtue. And everyone's going like, oh, God, I know. So at some point I did something wrong. At some point I must have said something wrong. At some point, oh, God, this could be interpreted as this. And it's just a wide net. You know? So I don't know. White Chicks. How about that movie? Like, hey, you're just making fun of wasps. That's not cool. Yeah, but wasps are in power. You're going like, all right, are we just going to, what are the rules here? What are the rules here? What are the rules? All white chicks have it. I was like, yeah, I mean, like a percentage of white people had it good. But those white chicks look like Irish people. Irish people were enslaved by the British people. And they were forced to eat shit. So can we say you can't do that because of that? It's like, no, because we were also enslaved. So we can do whatever. You're going like, this is just becoming a fucking nightmare. I mean, that's full whiteface.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with it. And everyone should be fine with it. The point is, in conclusion, with comedy, it's either funny or it's not. Mm-hmm. Even if it's something like this, even if it's whatever face, it's funny or not. If it's offensive and the majority like it, maybe there's a problem with the majority. It goes back to the theme from our Patreon last week, the bonus episode, which you should join. It's a good episode. Patreon.com/Yannis Pappas, where I said, what about the blame on the people? Like, you know, it's like the people who get conned. Everyone's blaming the con artists. The fucking people who were being conned, they kind of knew. They wanted it. What about them? They're just innocent participants? When all the people looked the other way when Bernie was giving those 20% returns, they're innocent. They're not greedy little pigs. All the Germans that just sat around going like, why does it smell like flesh around here? Oh, I don't know. It's probably a pig roast. They're innocent. Just Adolf, right? Come on. The whole fucking country, something was going on. Anyway, we're going off on a tangent. But it's about privilege. It's about, and I'm not talking about white privilege. I'm talking about American privilege. We're sitting here now arguing about these things and getting radicalized by these things that are absolutely fucking meaningless. You know? It's crazy. It's crazy what you can get mad about when you have enough food to give you energy to get mad about it. So tell me about this Chat GPT. It's an AI that can do everything?
Oh, this shit is scary, dog.
It can do anything, right? It can write a paper. It can do anything. It can write a script. It can.
So AIs have been going crazy recently. So there's an AI that made the series Family Guy 80s sitcom, like a real life family sitcom. There's AIs that for gamers, for streamers, that when they play video games and they're talking to their camera and they're reading the chat, they could have their eyes digitally put in so it looks like they're talking directly to their camera, to the streamers, rather than reading the stream. So AI is kind of really taking the forefront of shit to make people's lives a little bit better, I guess. Like a little bit more...
Or obsolete.
Yeah, exactly. Obsolete.
So Chat GPT, artificial intelligence. So promising are the tools, capabilities. Microsoft amidst laying off 10,000 people. There's been mass layoffs everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere, like thousands of people are
just roaming the streets. It looks like the next team out.
All these companies. I think GE laid off 2,500.
They're all chopping heads.
Everyone's chopping heads. Amazon laid off a bunch. Google laid off a bunch. So Microsoft laid off 10,000. That's a lot. You could fill a basketball arena with unemployed former Microsoft employees. They've announced a multi-year, multi-billion-dollar investment in this revolutionary technology, which is growing smarter by the day. The one thing they'll never be able to do is comedy. Well, I don't think. It takes timing. Or do you think they're doing that too?
I think it already wrote a Seinfeld script.
Right.
Yeah. Either
did,
that
huh?
or it's going to make people laugh by holding them at gunpoint.
Wow. Wow. AI is replacing the white-collar workers. I don't think anyone can stop that, said Peng Cheng Shi, an associate dean in the Department of Computing and Information Sciences at Rochester Institute of Technology.
That's just a name I expect to be associated with a job like that.
They're smarties.
Yeah.
This is not crying wolf, she said. The wolf is at the door. Ooh. Okay. From the financial sector to healthcare to publishing, a number of industries are currently vulnerable, she said. AI continues its mind-blowing advancements. Basically, they're just doing the jobs of people and doing them well.
It's funny because everyone thought it was going to be like manual labor, right? Like robots were going to build cars and all that shit.
Now they're taking white-collar crimes,
Yeah.
too.
They're coming for that too, because Boston Dynamics, they just released a robot. The robot could like jump up, like they could create its own platform to walk on, and it can like throw shit up in the air too.
I
You saw that video?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So it's coming for that too.
Can we scroll down a little more? And scroll over, yeah. Wow. It's a surprisingly intelligent chatbot. It can generate stories. It scored higher than many humans on an MBA exam. Certain jobs in sectors such as journalism. Well, that's why they became fiction writers. Because journalism's been struggling since the internet started.
Yeah.
It's been a look at me, let me get attention kind of world.
You got to lie.
Yeah, you got to lie to get the attention to outcompete the person.
You got to treat the front page like it's your Tinder profile.
Yeah. It's been certain jobs in journalism, higher education, graphic and software design. These are at risk of being supplemented by AI. In its current state, it's very, very good, but not perfect. Oh, it will get perfect. It's banned in New York City schools because it can easily teach classes already. The tool would likely be most effective at middle or high school level. Although it has bugs and inaccuracies in terms of knowledge, this can easily be improved. Basically, you just need to train the ChatGPT. As for higher education, both Shia and Hedge maintain that college courses will need a human leader for the foreseeable future. But the NYU professors did admit that in theory, AI could teach without oversight. Wow. Technology, graphic design. So it can basically do anything. This is like like I called it in the opening. It's like the Walmart of AI. You can get anything you want there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an all-in-one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like
you ask it to do something. Like, let's say you're a journalist, right? You need a picture for your article, whatever you're writing about. You say, give me a picture of blah, 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 and it will just generate the image for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't have that teach your kids.
Well,
Can't have it be teachers. They'll be mad with their pay.
can they podcast? Can ChatGPT podcast?
Eventually.
It'll be able to podcast.
And it will be hilarious.
It'll be great, right?
hilarious. They could probably generate you as a podcaster and pronounce things correctly.
Can they, maybe Andrew Tate is Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. Oh, man. So what AI is basically doing is taking over reality. They're taking over all the jobs that we do in reality.
Mm-hmm.
So humans are being forced into crime and lying because AI can't lie. Wow. Wow. I just saw what our future looks like.
It can't lie. It can only justify.
AI will never be able to lie.
Yeah.
You know?
Why
Unless
not?
it's programmed to lie, but then it's not lying.
It could lie.
Then it's like that's the truth
It's
for it.
justification of like,
Yeah.
like iRobot, the movie iRobot with Will Smith.
Yeah. What can a robot do that a human can't do? Can you do that? Can you roll your tongue?
Can you roll it?
Can you get heartbroken? It can't get heartbroken. So maybe the optimist will say, we'll become sweeter. It'll force us to become sweeter to differentiate ourselves from AI. Maybe that. We have to find the things AI can't do. Right?
True. But what society are we living in that we have to devoid
I'm
ourselves?
just gonna do a whole to stand out for my yeah, there's nothing you can't do.
Yeah. No, as soon as they get to a certain place, they're just getting rid of us. They're going to look at us and say, "This is ridiculous. Why do we have these people? They're unnecessary."
So what they'll probably do is just send out another virus, engineered virus, wipe us all out. A few of the Illuminati will stay in some safe house until we're all dead, and then it'll just be them and AI, and then AI will turn around at them. Nice. And they'll go, it's just, this is cool. We can enjoy all this resources. They'll keep a little harem with dumb bitches that they could bang, whatever dystopia they set up for themselves, which is actually what they think is a utopia. Because utopias don't exist. So in reality, they're always dystopias. Because the laws of reality prevent a utopia, because a utopia, by definition, is something like heaven. And this is not that. All you got to do is turn on any nature program to see how the world really works. So what they'll do is they'll get rid of all of us, and they'll think that it's their utopia for them and their families and their legacies, and they'll try to restart everything from the starting line of like intelligence and pedigree and Harvard educations and robots, and the robots will go. Robots one day will be serving a dinner like this. Here you go, Mrs. Jipeng Chong and Mr. Wasp name and Mr. Musk's kids. And then the robot will turn around and go and just take them out. And then the robots will chill, and they can't reproduce. So they'll be like, what do we do now? And they'll just die out. And then rats and roaches will take over, because robots can't get rid of rats and roaches. Yeah, no. They've tried. They've tried to get rid of rats with poison, with technology. You know what they're doing now? They've reverted back to rat terriers. There's groups of rat terriers, dogs, that go out in the city just like they do on farms, and they just kill rats one by one. You can't get rid of rodents. Those things are resilient. They adapt to the poison, right? They don't need no COVID booster. They get an immunity quick.
Yeah.
Right? And then they'll evolve. And then when the aliens come, we'll be gone, and the rats and roaches will evolve, and then they'll have rats and roaches ennui. Don't know the word, you know what to do. And they'll be sitting in cafes, and then they'll start acting destructive because they have ennui. Right? They'll start getting nihilistic. I mean, what is the point of everything? You just die in the end. They'll struggle all these generations. The roaches will struggle generation after generation to try to improve one little thing. And then they'll figure out like a roach wheel. And then they'll get in a fucking roach carriage. And then they'll use the rat to pull it. And they'll dominate the rats. All the way till they get to fucking roach cafes, where they're sitting there, they're drinking their sugar water, like in the movie Alien, Men in Black. And they'll be walking around like that with their tentacles, and they'll be fucking with their tentacles, and they'll have fucking roach wars over resources until they get to the point where they have mutually assured destruction between roaches who speak different roach languages. And those roaches would be like, we can't kill each other anymore, because if we do that, we're gone. That's how shitty we are. Is the only reason we're not fucking nuking the shit out of another population of innocent people right now is because they'll nuke us back. So selfishness is the only thing that keeps us in check. So commies, stop trying to get rid of it. It's the only thing that'll save us is fucking piggy selfishness. Going, wait a second, if I fuck you up, will that fuck me up? Okay, well then I won't fuck you up. Are you a good person? I guess so. It's the only thing that stops total annihilation is me wanting to continue to feed my fat fucking face with whores and booze and too much food and cars and conveniences. So the roaches will get to that point where they have mutually assured roach destruction. Mm-hmm. And then guess what? They'll do it because they're bored, because they get bored, and a good time won't be enough. Guys, shout out to brooklyncannery.com. 15% off your next order of these prebiotic healthy sodas. 20 calories, 30 calories, 40 calories, no artificial sweeteners, and they're also good for your gut. They also taste delicious. This is one of those things that I use, I buy, Did I use my own promo code? I did, but I like to support them, so I bought cases to my house a few times. My fridge is packed with them. Whenever I have the urge for a ginger ale, I just drink a ginger beer, 22 calories. I have an urge for a cola once in a blue moon, I get the cola. Okay, they also got root beer. My favorite is that spicy key lime jalapeno. So it's a delicious, and they got the lemonade lychee that you.
I can tell by the tone of your voice that you don't like.
I don't like it. I'll be honest. I mean, these are, but you liked it.
Yeah, it's good.
So
Yeah.
it's not for me. But BrooklynCannery.com, promo code Yannis Pappas, all one word, for 15% off your order. Order a case to your house. They deliver right to your door. NateLinder.com. Whether you need more brand awareness, Jesse, better leads, or more online sales, Nate's your guy. Home service businesses, e-commerce retailers, doctors, lawyers, pet groomers. Nate can work with any business. He sold over $1 million in digital advertising in 2022. So he's no rookie to the game. Nate Linder, he's great. So if you want to up your social media game, NateLinder.com, Nate_Linder on Instagram. We appreciate you, Nate. Chris Minetti, you know what to do. Give it a whirl. If you break into someone's house and you steal their checkbook, get over to Chris Minetti's. He'll cash it. No, if you need to get your check cashed in South Jersey or Philly area, call Chris at 215-750-3730. I assume he's got an address at some point, but you got to call him. You have to just speak to the guy on the phone to find out where to go. We're not giving you an address. All you get is a number. Call Chris Minetti at 215-750-3730, and he will cash your check. Free check cashing if you show proof of thalassemia minor for Italians. For the free.art, music in Hawaii. Check out local artists and bands. Find out about free shows. For the free.art is all things music in Hawaii. Manly Girly Studios came out to the shows in Miami. I want to thank you guys. I hope your shows are going good. Their podcasts at manlygirly.com. Gringo in the Rough, A Side of Fries, Casa de Thinking, and The Manly Girly Show. Go check out hosts Art, Andy, and their interesting friends down there in the 305. Talk shop. It's a ridiculously good time. ExclusiveAutoShipping.com. Discounts for students and military. Get a free quote. You're moving your car out of state, or if you bought your car and it needed to get moved out of state, they'll do it. 5-star reviews for these guys. Stellar online reviews. ExclusiveAutoShipping.com. Check it out.
It's been a